Greetings, folks, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to read once again from our book, Life Among the Stars. We are going to read chapter 2 of the story that we started in our last YouTube video. We hope that you will like it. Just enjoy what Earth looks like to those who were left behind on the planet after a terrible disaster happened. Listen and enjoy. Earth Generations, The Ones They Left Behind, Chapter 2, by Om Prakash Gilmore. A smooth and efficient lifestyle. I stopped in a pub within walking distance. Since we all lived so far apart and we had so much free time, walking distance could be 2 or 3 miles. This one was only a mile through winding dirt roads and at a crossroad. We didn't even name the streets anymore, so I can't tell you where it was. Everything was done through email and 10G transmission. So we didn't even need addresses anymore. The pub was nice and quiet. It was a place for the few humans in the area and ALFs. More ALFs were frequenting the place since their populations were growing. They didn't have to eat or drink, but they seemed to endure it just so they could hang out and relax together. I think a lot of them also enjoy seeing the foolishness of humans acting out. These ALFs seem a little more intelligent than they let on sometimes. Most of the humans spent their time walking and moving about on bicycles or scooters. Robot cars transported people for long distances. There really wasn't a need for a car in every home. The ALF security team were the ones who usually drove. They were a combination of police, EMTs, and social workers. They worked to maintain a smooth and efficient lifestyle on what we called New Earth. They, along with the essentials, were trusted to run everything while we humans floated around like butterflies, sucking nectar from here and there and breeding and raising children to hit the frontiers, to spread this great society to every corner of the galaxy. We were really out there. I mean, the inventions were crazy. Ships that could bend space and make jumps of hundreds of light years in hours. We were a spacefaring people. We just didn't have enough people left to go out and explore the empty planets. Instead, we hung out in the pub. I liked that better. I walked in and it was packed. Barely any seats were available. There were a few humans there. As a black man, I had learned to be weary of some of these people. Racism was said to have been done away with more than 200 years ago during the Second Enlightenment period. I didn't believe it. Things were better with the ALFs. There were no incidents with the security agents treating people badly because of their color. As for the people, they hardly ever changed. Every time I went into some place, since I was dressed like a normal person, I was thought of as being someone who was just living off of a UBI. I was thought of as a lazy vagabond floating around because I was a black man. They didn't know that I could have bought most of their little establishments and thrown most of them out. I scanned the room. It was hard to tell the decent ones versus the ones who were the white supremacist clingers. We used to call them clingers because they couldn't get past the past. The society had designated them as mentally ill because they insisted on clinging to beliefs that had no basis in reality. So some of them hid their beliefs while others let go of them. There were a few black people there and some people of color. Some white people were there. I didn't see any familiar faces. I went to the bar. No, long time no see, Trevor said from behind the bar. He grinned. Thought you went off planet too. Me? No way. I looked around. Where is everybody? I mean, most of the people from the hood. Going to Venus or something, he said. He slapped the beer down onto the bar. I took a gulp. It was nice and cold. All the black folk seem to be getting out of here, he continued. Getting out or thrown out. I grinned. He laughed. He was a white guy of Irish descent. His grandparents had had a hard time right after the Sun incident, but had scrapped up what they had and had started a business. They wanted to stay until the last minute and then head for Mars, but the Sun exploded before that could happen, and they decided to stay. Rather than leave his parents, he decided to take over the business later and start a bar. So here he was, with a little pub in the middle of nowhere. He chuckled a bit. He leaned in close. Look around. I think we're all being thrown out, except the ALFs. He looked around. I have no problem with it, but there seems to be more and more every day. I don't know what they're about, but they don't fight or start trouble. What could be better? True. You ever talk to them? A little, here and there. I picked up my beer. Well, let's see, I said. I gave him a wink. I saw a table in the corner, where most of the people were wearing red armbands. I didn't know how they would react. I made my way over and saw an open seat. Roland was there. Roland was the security officer who often passed through the schoolyard and passed my garden on foot. I made my way over. He looked up expectantly, probably thinking I was going to report something. Mind if I sit down? I asked. They all looked at me for a moment and then looked at him. No expression. I didn't know what they were thinking. He finally smiled. Sure, have a seat. I shoved myself into the corner. Hope I'm not intruding. Of course not, a female ALF said. I'm Lindsay. Benjamin, a man added. Roger. Cindy. James. I said, it's a pleasure. I turned to Roland. I'm just curious. I've been seeing you every day going past my pot and patrolling, and haven't really taken the time to speak with you. I'm just wondering how things are going for you. Things are going well, he said. So you have a lot of things to do you? I asked. A little too many, Cindy said. Roger grinned. Roland pursed his lips. Not too many, he said. But I have a lot of responsibilities. I coordinate a lot of things. Maintenance, emergency services, mostly for humans, and policing, of course. When I see something that needs to be done, I drop it in the network. And then I get to work, Roger said. We get to work, Lindsay said. Our lives are dedicated to work. How about fun? I asked. This is fun, she said. A little fun. I don't think we do fun very well. Speak for yourself, Cindy said. Roger grinned. Sydney here likes to have fun, he said, directing it to me. I understand completely, I said. How about you? Roland asked. How do you keep yourself occupied? Me? I don't know. I read a lot, I write, I walk a lot, and I'm learning a musical instrument. Do a little gardening. Really? Sounds to me like you're more busy than all of us. It's kind of fun. It can be boring sometimes, but it's okay. You aren't fooling with VR, are you? You know they can be addictive. I don't do those well. I've used them, but how much fantasy can you live in? Cindy grinned. She's into hospitality, if you know what I mean, Roger said, giving me a wink. Yes, I have seen a lot of human fantasy, believe me, she said. Really? I asked. How do you feel about that? I don't feel anything about it. Really? No, I'm not human, you know. I know, but you look so human, and all of you sound so human, so normal. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Not the human part, but being normal, Lindsay said. I strive for excellence. She's a teacher, Roland said. She's just programmed that way. That's why she believes it. They began to laugh. No, that's not why. That is just the way I feel. I think you have all just slipped your programming and have lost what we are here to do. We are here to promote excellence. Sounds boring, Cindy said. Sounds boring to me too, I said. I think I'd like to hang out with Cindy. I'm sure you would, Lindsay said. Everyone started laughing. I couldn't help but laugh a little too. That's not what I mean. Of course not, Ben said. We know exactly what you mean. Everyone started laughing again. I do believe our human here is blushing, Roger said. That is just so cute. I didn't know what to say. My jaw dropped. Don't worry, I know what you mean, Cindy said with a wink. I shook my head and took a sip of beer. They made me speechless. I never knew that ALS were like that. Maybe I could have more friends on this lonely planet. And there we are, folks. We will be reading chapter 3 very, very soon on the next video. We hope you'll check in, and if you like what you're hearing, we hope you will subscribe and share this video with friends, and also hit the like sign. We want to make this video channel viable, where we can talk about deep subjects, spiritual, political, comical, and even now, literature, to help create the well-rounded Renaissance human being. Thanks for being with us. See below for some links that you can hit to explore what we're doing more and more. Thank you once again. Namaste.